Okay, so let's get it going. Fantastic views once again.
Hi guys.
What do you have? What's going on?
All right, first up, Robin, a new stop motion film made at the Aardman studio.
Stop motion, cool. I like it already.
And it's coming out of their Bristol studio, located in England. You know, I like anything done at the Aardman studio. These are the people that brought you Wallace and Gromit. Film, Robin, is about a bird that's raised by mice. I love the look of it. Looks like kind of pushpin dolls that my daughter made, kind of made out of felt. Okay, it runs 32 minutes long and it's being shown on Netflix.
So you mean a half an hour movie or is that a complete feature film?
No, 32 minutes, half an hour.
And now it's available on Netflix.
Correct.
Cool. So now, like Aardman has been doing stop motion for a while. Like how many studios do you think they're doing stop motion? Is it Leica from Portland, Aardman?
Yeah, that's the only two that I can think of that are really large, right, doing feature films.
Right, and you may see there's a couple of studios maybe that are doing like stop motion for TV series.
Maybe a
right?
commercial or some, but really small number.
Yeah, but the majority would be in Europe, I'm guessing. Like we only have like studios here, and then Europe has a lot more.
It's a very old medium. It's been around for at least 100 years, guys. Not a lot of people know how to do it.
Exactly. So animators, you don't find that many animators that are making stop motion films. If you go to festivals, you may see stop motion short films by animators. Right? But it's a unique art form in itself. And it's kind of cool because Aardman has a long career and expertise in stop motion movies. Like not only making them, but also being successful in the box office, right?
Right.
Which is pretty cool though to see a new movie coming out from them that is on Netflix. They're releasing that straight to Netflix, or do they have their own pipeline for that? Or
I believe they were hired from Netflix to do it.
Awesome. So Netflix animation moving in. Okay, awesome. I'll tell you my news right here. Switching topics on the streaming services. We have a new one called Paramount Plus Studios. So what do you think about this and when you see that image?
Yay, more streaming.
There you go. So more streaming services like Netflix, right? Like Netflix was the trail on Blazor. And then you have like Apple TV, Disney Plus, everything's like Plus. So now Paramount Plus Studio, they have franchises, they have films, they have all these TV series, they have a lot of animation as well. And so why not? Like why not, if you were the owner of Paramount, right, would you do this? Like why not? As opposed to going through a middle distribution service.
People really don't purchase movies anymore. DVD, they don't buy them. People aren't going to the theaters. And if you have a huge library, this is a way to cut out the networks and just get them directly buying your product.
Exactly, so I think it's a good idea. So go to their website and you're not gonna see the library right there, but if you go to this other website, you can see what movies they offer.
Next up, this comes from Pixar and it is their next feature called Turning Red. It's gonna skip a theatrical release. It's going directly to Disney Plus. And look for that on Friday, March the 11th. Again.
This is the one that is like all over Toronto. Right?
Yes,
like
it's set in Toronto, which is a rarity for movie settings, right?
Yeah, there you go. So I saw this advertised on the actual news, and the reason that they did that was because the film per se now is like featuring this Canadian city called Toronto, like the streets, a bit of the culture, right? A bit of the weather with the winters and all that.
Yes, the director is first-time feature animation director Domi Shi. Okay, she also directed a Pixar short called Bao, and that was about a Chinese mother and her dumpling comes alive.
There you go.
All right.
That can happen, right? All right, switching topics, let's go to games. Specifically, let's go to EA Sports. Under franchises, they have this new one on FIFA22. And as you know, they keep on doing FIFA 20, 21, 22, and so on. Because on the real life, like all these players, they switch teams, right? And they gotta update the game to reflect the actual FIFA roster and players and all that. But aside from that, what's new on a game like this one? Because they could be just revamping the skins or the players, right? Copy and paste. But what's new on this one is that they have The first of all is that they have this new technology called hypermotion. Right? So they make the game a lot more realistic in the sense of movement. Right? So you're going to see when you press the buttons on the Xbox or PlayStation, now you can see better kicks, right? Better like celebrations. It's smoother motion, right? In the past was mocap, and mocap is still being used today, and mocap needed to be clean all the time because it was kind of jerky and has glitches, and the animator would be like stitching those mocap sequences and pieces. But now with this hyper motion, you can expect a lot more realistic movement from the players, which is less robotic, right? What do you think about mocap? You like mocap?
Not really.
Why not?
It's too stiff. Kind of sucks the life out of a performance.
There you go. So hypermotion promises to bring better animation, right?
Next movie, Hotel Transylvania, the fourth in the franchise, and it's actually called Hotel Transylvania Transformania. Okay, it comes from Sony Pictures, and again, this is not getting a theatrical release. It's going directly to Amazon Prime, coming out January 14th of 2022. I really like these movies. They're very slapstick, very cartoony, and in this movie, it's a very amusing idea. The monsters become human, and the human, Johnny, becomes a monster. It's directed by first-time director Jennifer Kluska, and the interesting thing is she storyboarded on the first two Hotel Transylvania movies. I have some images here. That's what I look like when I go camping. And it's done here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, at Sony.
There you go. So same as the previous movie that you talked about, like now they're releasing that into a streaming service as opposed to going to theatrical releases, right? That's a bit of a debatable situation, right? Like the studios and the animators, they want to release for the big screen. Like when I was animating, you always had the big screen.
Right.
And then you knew when you had something on your computer screen, like a 20-inch screen, you knew that pixel right on your screen is going to be noticeable up in the big screen when you go to the theaters. That it's a couple of inches.
I really like going into theaters. I think the experience is neat in terms of experiencing it with a crowd. It's a very different feel, sitting by yourself versus how is a large audience reacting to the film. So
right.
I wouldn't like that to go away, but I can see that it's a progression that we're always going to have the streaming service.
Yeah, exactly. So I think theaters will be much more like a live event.
Yeah.
Right? You go to this live event and then you go there and then you have a lot more of an experience. You go to this place, popcorn, right? Seats, people, and you're seeing this thing with a lot more a crowd or an audience, right? You have
friends, family.
Exactly. So
before we leave, I do want to invite you to our next webinar. It's going to be held on January 29th at 11 a.m. And my guest host is my good friend Nik Ranieri. We're going to talk about his digital career. Nik's a legend at Disney Future Animation, so I invite you to attend.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.